It's Emily Iannielli, and I'm a male to female transgender woman, and I'm actually wearing a nice dress that I just got today. Actually, I bought it at one of my favorite stores where I like to shop, Kohl's. I'm very feminine, and I prefer wearing dresses. And it's funny because when I see girls out, they usually like to wear pants, but that's not really my style. I, for so many years, was in the closet, and as I mentioned in previous videos, I used to wear dresses underneath my boy clothes or my men's clothes. So I felt very trapped, kind of couldn't express myself. So I'm having a ball now where I can actually express who I am and be comfortable and live to be a female, which is what I've always known I was. So for me, I'm just having the time of my life. I love to wear dresses. And so I am extremely feminine, and I just love it, you know. And, you know, there's something that not many girls, I guess, understand. And I do believe, though, that girls are probably fascinated with transsexual women because they're probably curious what it's like, you know. I've always wondered what women actually, what their feelings are towards trans women like myself or others. It's quite interesting because, you know, I don't have many relations with women in, you know, I'm married, I have a wife. Unfortunately, we have a little rocky relationship, I guess, which is to be expected under the circumstances, but I still love her, and we have a beautiful boy, a son, 16, and he's the pride and joy in my life. And I'm actually fortunate that I can express my female side, and he's okay with it. We actually go out, and I'm dressed like a woman, and he's okay. He's very mature, and in fact, he's my biggest supporter. So I'm very lucky. And you know, I notice when I like to go out, and I like to study women and see how they dress. And in many ways, I don't see women really getting all dressed up and all. It's very ironic in a way. But I do like to compliment women, whether it's their child or children that I see when they're shopping down an aisle in the supermarket, and I see them with their children. I usually always, oh, you have such nice children, they're so cute, and they're very appreciative. And it helps me because, you know, I'm transitioning, and, you know, I want to be a woman and act in a very feminine way. And it helps me because I'm working on my voice. So anytime I have an opportunity to express myself, you know, I try, you know. Usually it's women. And also I enjoy complimenting women on their fashion accessories. Like today, I was out at the mall. I mean, not the mall. I went to a couple of stores. I went to Target. I went to Kohl's, and I also went with a woman friend of mine to the supermarket. But I like to compliment women or girls on their accessories, like hats, sweaters, jackets, shoes, dresses if they wear a dress, because it's like reaffirming for me. And when a girl graciously accepts your compliment, in my case, I feel very happy about that. And it's a way like to connect with that female perspective. And I always wanted to have that in my life. I always wanted to just be like one of the girls and enjoy that camaraderie. There's certain element of a bonding with women and females, and I think it's pretty interesting, and I enjoy that, and I I could wear a dress every day. I just love dresses, and it's a lot of fun, and I love coats and jackets, and I just love to shop. It's a lot of fun, and I'm doing the things that I always wanted to do. I always wanted to be a woman, so I always was curious how women perceive transgender women, and do they actually accept them as women? And on Facebook, I seem to have friends. I have a lot of friends, whether they're transgender women or natural born, I guess you call them cisgender women, and they seem to be very accepting of my situation, and that makes me happy. Um, you know, and all I wanted was to be happy and to be true to who I am, and I think it's awesome that I can be a female and dress. The only thing missing is that I'm still incomplete. I want to have a sex change operation. Um, I wish that my doctor and psychiatrist and my therapist would help me to write the letter. So, they're waiting because of my um, recent hospitalizations. So I'm trying to go to an online therapist, actually, who I need to do like 8 sessions, and he needs to evaluate me on the internet, and he's pretty world renowned from what I understand, and he's done letters for other clients with respect to Marcy Bowers, Dr. Marcy Bowers. So I'm hoping, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that he'll help me with one of the letters I need. And I'm also going to Callan Law to try to get the second letter. And if I can get the 2 letters, I already got a letter from my doctor at Callan Law, but she's not a mental health professional. But she clearly is giving me the go-ahead to do the surgery. That's for the vaginoplasty and the orchiotomy. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the insurance will cover it too. I am actually going out of network if I'm able to go forward, provided I get these 2 letters. But it's a waiting game right now. But I do want to have the sex change operation. I mean, I've been wanting to have a sex change operation since I was 12 years old, when I knew I was a transsexual. So, it's not new to me, and I'm not afraid to do the surgery. And if I die on the table, I mean, at least I'm trying, I don't want to die, obviously. I want to have the surgery and it to be successful. And obviously Dr. Marcy Bowers is the best. So I have all the confidence in the world that it will go well, and I'll be very pleased. And just the thought of having a vagina and being able to go to the bathroom like a female, I mean, that's what I want. That's what I've always wanted. I always wanted to be completely feminized, complete and total feminization, and you know, I'm older, but it really doesn't matter as long as I am on the right path, and I am. And I'm also happy that I did father a son, so I have no regrets about that. So, and I do have a woman who I care about in my life, and I can't help the way I am though. And I knew from a very young age that I was going through an internal struggle, and I feel for people who are transgender because it's not an easy thing to go through, and unfortunately, a lot of trans teens don't have a good support system. Um, and I do also think that our society today has become more open-minded towards trans children, because you will see that there's a lot more acceptance. Uh, I've seen many stories about uh, uh, young boys who identify as girls, and they're actually transitioning at very young ages to live as girls and go to school and wear girls' clothes. And there were some bumps in the road with use of the bathroom, and but the parents are becoming more receptive to their children if they um, express feelings that they may be transgender. So I think that's a very positive thing, and it makes me feel happy because I know what I went through, and it wasn't easy for me. I was struggling, and I just think that you know it's a wonderful thing to know that parents are becoming more open-minded and supporting their trans children, and that's a good thing. And I'm just going about each day. I'm not working, so I'm trying to figure out what to do with my time and my days. And I try to do positive things. I try to keep busy. I like to watch movies and write, and videos is a big part of what I like to do. Self-expression, and I'm just enjoying my time, because when I was working, to be honest with you, I was pretty stressed, and work is no luxury. It's arduous, and I'm very fortunate that I'm on disability, medical disability. I do have some concerns. I'm on long-term disability, but there is a finite period of time for payout, so that's something that I have to think about going forward. And eventually I would like to try to work again, and certainly I will work as a female, as a woman. There's no question about that. Actually, I did already have that experience of working full-time as a woman, so it wasn't the best experience. Not the dressing up part, but the treatment, how I was treated, and Hold on a sec, because the light is not good. I need the light for my film.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm sorry, I have to have a better lighting for my filming. You know, I'm just doing the film in my living room. I don't have any sophisticated, you know, what do you call it? Like musicians, they have a place where they can do their music. My memory isn't good. I guess since I hit my mid-50s, well, I'm not quite at mid-50, I'm 54, but I I don't have the best of memories. Um, but yeah, I don't have my sound room, I guess you want to call it, where I can have complete privacy. And from now and then, you may see, like, my mother-in-law just walk by, but you know, we're one big happy family. Um, and my son, when he's home, you may see him on occasion. And I try to do videos where I speak and express my feelings and what I go through. But I get inspired, and the whole basis of why I do videos, I watch a lot of trans women, trans girls who do videos, and they do videos about makeup, they do videos about hormone replacement therapy and how many months they've been on it, and they talk about the changes, or they do videos about voice and how they um, were able to successfully transition their voice from a masculine voice, in the case of a male to female transgender, to a feminine voice. I'm not at that level in my transition. I tried voice lessons, but they're very expensive, and unfortunately I'm going to have to abandon that. And I did order audio downloads for voice lessons, and I ordered a meter that measures the voice. So I'm gonna focus on that to try to develop a more feminine voice. But I also have had people tell me that my voice, that I shouldn't be that self-conscious about it. They actually think that my voice sounds okay. For me, when I hear my voice, though, I hear a man's voice, because that's all I've ever known. The only thing I must say, though, is I don't have a real deep voice, which is good. And I'm also fortunate in other respects as a male to female transsexual woman, because I don't have to worry about my Adam's apple. For some reason, the skin here conceals the Adam's apple, and my Adam's apple was never prominent. So I'm very fortunate in that regard. And I'm very small stature. I'm only 5'5", so I can blend in as a woman pretty easily because I'm petite. I want to lose some weight. I want to lose as much as 30 pounds. I currently weigh 160, and ideally I would like to get down to 130. And I'm trying to look into this HCG 1234 diet, which I believe is some kind of extraction of a female hormone that's produced during pregnancy. So I'm going to actually be using that in my diet regimen, and I'm going to try to eat much healthier so I can try to aggressively lose the weight. But I want to keep the weight off once I do lose it. And, I'm going to see how it goes, basically, because people like what people say about my voice. Other people say that I look okay with my weight right now. But for me, 160 for a 5'5" frame just doesn't seem right. And I don't like my belly fat. I really don't. I'm a true girl in the sense that I'm very self-conscious about my flab, I guess you would call it. I like to be slim, and if I had breasts that I was um, more able to show, which I don't. My breasts are pretty tiny, but it is what it is. I'm taking estradiol. At least I have something. That's better than nothing. And I can always pad my breasts with a padded bra. I do wear a 34A bra, and yeah, I can pad it. They have all these nice bras now that can emphasize the the look, and yeah, I certainly would love to have a larger breast size, but I don't want to do breast augmentation because I can't afford it. I wish I could, but I have to focus more on the gender reassignment surgery. For me, it's more important to have a functional vagina, and I think that would be more important to me personally. To be complete as a transgender woman, having a vagina would be the icing on the cake, basically. I don't want to get graphic in my video. And the only joy that I did have with my male anatomy was having a son and seeing my wife pregnant. Aside from that, though, I wasn't really a big fan of my male anatomy, and I had feelings of disgust, and I was very, I had self-hatred, and I cried a lot, and I always asked, why do I have to have this? I'd rather have a female genitalia, and it's just the way it was. I was a very sensitive child, very feminine, though I didn't get picked up as feminine because I wasn't out, so I didn't convey that about me. I didn't try to go out of my way to express that feminine aspect of my life. Though I was truly a woman in my own mind and how I felt about myself, I tried to do the best I could, uh, portraying being male because I was born male, but I never identified as a male. I've always identified as a female, and and now that I'm all dressed up and feeling good about myself, I like to wear stockings. These are nice. I like, and my shoes I love with my little bows. And one thing I love about being a transgender woman, and eventually I may just say woman, but I don't have any shame in saying I'm transgender. But these are like little heels. I don't wear high heels, so to. I mean, I would like to eventually, maybe, but these definitely have like a heel to them. And when I walk, I just love the sound of the clackety clack, I guess you could say, with the heel as I'm walking. And to me, that's like the very essence of femininity, uh, hearing the sound of the shoes uh, against the walking surface, that is to me the ultimate in being a transgender woman. I love it. It makes me feel so feminine, and it's exciting to me. You know, women probably would laugh, but to me, it's awesome, and I just enjoy that. And I'm a woman, so I have every right to enjoy that aspect of my transition. Um, I wish I could, on cue, talk with a more feminine voice. I learned some techniques, like when I was going for voice lessons, my teacher said when you want to sound more feminine, you try to phrase your sentences in the format of a question. And I remember that as a way to express yourself. Now, when I'm out in a social situation, what I try to do to compensate for my voice is I try to speak low. I try to speak higher pitch, but softly. I try to speak softly, and I try to be very conscious of how I talk and my body language. I try to portray a very feminine body image, body expression, and it's gonna take some time for me, but I think I'll get there. You know, I mean, my voice isn't too bad, I guess, but I certainly have to try to get that breathy aspect of my voice and try my very best to make it sound feminine. I do want to be a woman in the way I talk also. And, the thing is, when I'm on the phone, it does get very frustrating for me because I am transitioning from male to female to live as a transgender woman. And I hate when I'm addressed as a sir on the telephone. It just really makes me upset. And I find myself correcting the, the person I'm speaking to. And I say, please address me as Ms. because that's what I am. And I have no reservation saying that. And I'm very honest too with people, especially on the phone. And I go into my story and say, I'm transitioning from male to female, and I prefer female pronouns and being referenced in conversation. And for the most part, I've never had any problems. People are very receptive and very kind and understanding. So, I just want to be a female. I want to talk and act and look and portray myself as a woman. Eventually I want to have a vagina. And, God forbid my wife and I parted ways, which I hope doesn't happen. And I was still young enough, I might want to have sex as a female with a male. I don't